I think innovation is like really the key to any new product development, masterfully putting it into the marketplace. And innovation is so key and so important because the consumer is so jaded these days. They know everything about what witch hazel does for them and what lavender does for them. They understand peptides, they've listened to all the marketing stories, and so in this era we don't just have a consumer anymore that is a vigilante consumer, but we have consumer terrorists, and they want everything. They want the right packaging, they want the right box, they want the right scent, they want the right formula, they want to see efficacy in their cosmetics, they want to see cosmetics in their skincare, they want to see cosmetics in their hair care, they want to see hair care that helps their scalp, they want to see hair care that helps the ends of their hair. So women are very demanding, and women are the primary consumers of any cosmetic product, whether they purchase it for themselves or their families, their children, or their husbands. So this very savvy consumer terrorist, as I like to call them, really look for key indicators. And I think it's very important to think about innovation in a way that you present the product, not just in the ingredients, but really talking to what a woman needs. So right now we're talking a lot about precursors in skincare. And precursors are ingredients that are not nano in size, but are just below nano in size, about 500 microns. And they actually go and penetrate underneath the epidermis, or the first two layers of the skin, and they sit on the dermis of the skin, the bottom 5 layers of the skin. They interact with their neurotransmitters, and they really help to change the forecast or the future of what your skin looks like. And then we talk about just dermal or epidermal care. So we've already handled the dermal care, now we're talking about epidermal care. And epidermal care is really about correcting the damage, or maybe the little sins or mistakes that somebody has in their life. Maybe they had a little too much sun in Saint-Tropez, or maybe they had a few too many cigarettes on their last night out, or maybe they drink a little too much red wine, and their skin is affected by it. Maybe they're just stressed, because stress certainly is a huge indicator for aging in the skin. So really, the epidermal treatment really attacks that area. And innovation that way in addressing epidermal care and dermal care, I think, is just as provocative as talking about a new ingredient. So now we can then narrow down on which ingredients are appropriate for which kinds of ailments in the skin, or what a consumer genetically is inclined to have happen to their skin. So maybe they're maybe they have very sensitive skin because they've overprocessed their skin when they're younger. Here in the States, we have a lot of consumers who did too many acid peels, too many microdermabrasion treatments, too much Botox or Restylane, and their skin is very sensitive. So then we talk about treatments on a precursor basis that'll stop inflammation from happening, or stop redness or irritation from happening for the new skin that's growing in. But then we talk about the epidermal treatment to soothe and calm the problems that they have immediately right now. So innovation in skincare, and I almost hate to use the word innovation because it's kind of an outdated word in some ways. It's really about targeting a very specific consumer and figuring out how to work with their impulse needs for what they're looking for in their product. And that really does qualify as both ingredients, but also it qualifies as color. It qualifies as something that's interesting on a natural story, something that's interesting on an organic story. I think for consumers nowadays, they want a little bit of everything in their product, and that's also a part of innovation right now, or this idea of innovation. It's about really pleasing multiple consumers with one product. So that would be how I would approach right now the idea of innovation in skincare and in cosmetics. I think that consumers, I like to call them also consumer gypsies. They're not afraid to go from one store to another, whether it's a low-end store to a high-end store, to find the right item. But what's interesting is that if you open up a woman's makeup bag, or you go into her medicine cabinet, you'll find several products all targeted to do the same thing. because she's just not satisfied with what she's getting in any one product. So I'll try another brand, I'll try another brand. I love nude colored lipstick, so I'll try another brand. And then a woman has 20 different shades of nude colored lipstick or 20 different eye creams in her medicine cabinet because she still doesn't see the results she wants to see. So I think that really putting together the Uber product of the future for the woman and the consumer is really about driving home the message and the story, how it can help you in the future, how it helps you immediately, and how it gives you a beautiful cosmetic gratification at the same time. And that's really how I look at product development and innovation right now. Okay, so as I mentioned, I hate the word innovation because I think it's a little dated. I think everybody, if you go to 20 different raw material vendors, they'll all tell you what's innovative. If you go to 20 different packaging vendors, they're all going to tell you what's innovative. But it doesn't mean that the consumer finds it innovative. You have to really hit on the consumer need. And really, the consumer need for me is really more about orchestration. It's about really orchestrating the perfect symphony in a product. So in other words, you need that beautiful piece of packaging. You need that gorgeous finish. You need something a woman would be proud to pull out of her purse in a high-end environment, or even when she just wants to show off if she's on a bus or in a taxi. You need a beautiful formula that feels luxurious, that has a little mystique behind it, that someone uses, and we've all had this experience when you use a product and you don't know what you love about it, but you love it, and you have to use it again. And then you need some efficacy issues to address. You need to address what may be targeting a woman's needs or a consumer's needs in general, as I mentioned before, from a dermal and an epidermal standpoint. So immediate needs and then long-term needs. Because a woman has to be really happy about this orchestration of formula, packaging, raw material ingredients, and color. Okay, so it's for the first 5 minutes she puts it on, 5 hours later, 5 weeks later, 5 years later. She wants to see that that product is making an impact on her life. And that's really the beauty orchestration we like to talk about at Genealogy.